All right, hey, good morning, y'all. So I want to give you a sneak peek into the second meeting of our upcoming progression, kicking off on January 9th, Mastering Real Food for a Lifetime. By the way, that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to go through this 8-week progression, and you're going to learn more about real food and nutrition and all these popular real food and fad methodologies than just about anyone that you come across for the rest of your freaking life. And that means you're going to have a lot of confidence in what it is that you're doing. That's what we want to give people. We want to clarify the confusion, give people confidence, so they never question what it is they're ever supposed to do ever again, right? So last week we talked about the first meeting and how at that first meeting we're going to learn the basics of real food, how to structure your daily macros. We spent a lot of time on how to read labels and how to choose appropriate foods made with good ingredients. We call these SHT approved foods, because we all want to find the alternatives for the things that we feel like we have to give up, you know, like the ice creams and the cakes and the cookies and the crackers and chips, and all those things probably aren't serving our long-term health goals. It's convenient to have those things available in the rare situation that we want to have those things, right? So at that first meeting, we also receive our shopping list and our new comprehensive guide. This guide is so freaking awesome. I'm so proud of it. It's dramatically improved from previous years. It's got a lot more concepts in it. It kind of follows the progression along, and so it's like a follow-along workbook. And we have a lot of science and citations and references and resources to back up everything that we're talking about. All right. Again, to give you more confidence in what it is that you're learning, so that you never question real food again for the rest of your life. Now, after that first meeting, we're going to have some really simple, basic goals. And then you're going to go off and implement those goals for a couple of weeks. And then we come back for this second meeting. This second meeting is where it really starts to get fun. By the way, those first 2 weeks, most people are going to notice body composition changes, energy level improvements. Some of your symptoms will start to resolve themselves. By the time we get to this second meeting, we're really going to kickstart things up. And at the second meeting, the focus is, number one, learning how to be a real foodie and the importance of trying to choose the majority of your nutrients and energy from 100% fresh real food versus those SHT approved options that are out there. And we talk about why that's so beneficial and why that's so powerful. That is a huge game changer for most people if you can commit to that over a lifetime. At that second meeting, the main focus is going to be talking about metabolic flexibility. Now, what is metabolic flexibility? Metabolic flexibility is kind of what it sounds like. It's teaching the body how to be really good at using energy from a couple of different sources. Now, when you think about it, Conan, over here. When you think about it, our bodies create energy from mainly two different places. We can get energy from carbs, or we can get energy from fat. And when I say carbs, you know, usually we're talking about carbs that are broken down into glucose. So you could also say glucose and fat. Now, a lot of people might say, well, what about protein? Can't we create energy from protein? Well, yeah, you can, but when you break protein down through a process called gluconeogenesis, we get glucose out of that, so we're back to carbs. And then some people may say, well, what about ketones and the whole keto movement? Well, when you break down free fatty acids in the absence of glucose, then you're going to have to create some ketone bodies to compensate. So again, that comes from fat, and we're back to carbs and fat, or glucose and fat. A lot of people don't realize that we make energy from fat. It's the best place to get energy from, because if I can train the body how to use fat for fuel, then my body's going to start to learn how to use my own body fat for fuel. And that's exactly what body fat is for. It's supposed to be a rechargeable fuel source. Stored body fat is there for periods of not eating. That's the evolutionary adaptation for body fat. That's why it's there. And so what we want to do is train the body how to use fat for fuel. Because the reality is that most of us don't need to teach the body how to use carbs for fuel. Why? Well, because most of us are eating a lot of carbs all the time. But even if we weren't, let's say that we were going 10 years of zero carb. If you measured your blood glucose levels, you would still have glucose in your bloodstream. You'd probably have between 75 and 100 milligrams per deciliter, because the body is always making glucose internally. We have a lot of backup processes inside the body for creating glucose. So our bodies do not need any help learning how to use carbohydrates for fuel or how to use glucose for fuel. But most of us do need help training the body how to use fat for fuel. And so that is the emphasis of this meeting, is metabolic flexibility, training the body how to use fat for fuel. We have what we call our keys to metabolic flexibility. It's everything that we know to kind of shortcut that process. By the way, when that starts to happen, all the things that we're looking for from a real food nutrition program start to happen, and happen really fast. Because again, most of us want to lose some body fat, we want some good health, we want to feel good, we want to see resolution in symptoms. Training the body how to use fat for fuel gives you a consistent energy source, it normalizes your body composition, and it's better for your health over time. Also at the second meeting, we get an introduction into our fasting protocols, and we call this strategic fasting. All right, super comprehensive. We pulled all the latest and greatest information from all the thought leaders in the fasting world and pulled it down into this concise progression. And so this will be an introduction into fasting. We'll have some simple goals with it. So those are the main things we're covering at the second meeting. How to be a real foodie and the power of being a real foodie. How to teach the body to be metabolically flexible through our keys to metabolic flexibility, and then also an introduction into fasting protocols. All right, now to RSVP. Remember, we have a couple of different options. You can choose the $3.99 upfront one-time cost, and for that $3.99 you get the entire 8-week progression and everything it comes with, plus you get access to our online community, SuperHumans United, for an entire year, which also means you get access to all the different courses and things that we offer throughout the year. And the online community is amazing. I'll share a link to that. Like, it's a place of support and education and experience, and we got a huge recipe index in there. All our courses are in there. It's pretty awesome. You can also sign up at our monthly rate of $39.99 a month for a year. And same thing with that monthly rate, you get access to all of our courses. Well, you get access to the 8-week progression, and then you also get access to our online community and everything that it comes with. All right. If you sign up now, you get a free month. So that would be from now in December all the way up to January 9th. And you also get access to all our Mastering Real Food for a Lifetime courses, which include how to take your own pictures and measurements, how to choose cookware and storage containers, what blood work to get and why. I think we have a couple other pre-courses in there, but regardless, it's pretty freaking awesome. So if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please send them our way, and we look forward to seeing you guys here soon.